Contrary to popular belief, notaries do and can make mistakes. My name is Michelle Riley. I am the founding owner of Notaries for Alabama. I want to bring this short tutorial to you to talk about some of the most common mistakes made by notaries and how to prevent them. Before I do that, I want to make sure I extend an invitation to you to join our Facebook group. Notaries for Alabama has been around since 2013, and we have a growing, exciting Facebook group called Notaries for Alabama Hangout. Right now, we have a little over 650 members from all over the state, and we'd love for you to join us. Membership does have its privileges. Members of the Facebook group are entitled to discounts on training. They can also benefit from networking with notaries, not only statewide, but also in their county. We do offer group mentoring, but there are some members who also offer individual and one on one mentoring. And then finally, it is not uncommon for members to refer work to other members. So I really encourage you to come on over if you are on Facebook and join Notaries for Alabama Hangout. One other thing I'd like to make you aware of is we are running a year-end special on training. If you've been on the fence about getting some notary training, now is the time to pull the switch. We're offering 4 different training and webinars for you to purchase, all for $99. Just $99 for 4 different webinars and training. You can choose from Notary Basics, Alabama Merit Certificate, Notary Signing Agent, is it right for you? Mobile Notary, is it right for you? And so you want to be a process server. And so you decide which of those 5 webinars appeal best to you and purchase the training package, pay your $99, and then attend on dates that work best for you. This is live training. The Notary Basics is 4 hours long. The rest of the webinars provide an overview, and those run from about an hour and a half to 2 hours long. To learn more about each of those training offerings, head on over to trainalabama.com. All right, let's get down to business and talk about what I came here to talk about. Yes, notaries make mistakes. And unfortunately, when we do make mistakes, the repercussions can be far reaching. Here are just some of the most common mistakes that are made by notaries. One, we forget to apply our official notary seal. Now, don't hold it against us, but we notaries have a lot to do. We've got to verify your identity, complete the notary certificate correctly. We've got to verify that you understand what you're signing. We've got to make sure that you aren't being forced to sign, calculate the fee, collect the fee. Hey, I'm not making excuses, but I'm just trying to explain how it is a notary can make a mistake. We aren't perfect. And so that notary seal, sometimes we can get caught up in the moment and do everything we need to do other than apply our official seal. The Alabama Notary Handbook is quite clear about what happens when we forget to apply our seal. We can sign our name, we can fill out the certificate, but without that seal, that notarization is not going far. On page 10, The Notary Handbook for Alabama Notary says the notarial document must, all capital letters, have a seal or stamp. This is a requirement in the state statute because it helps prevent fraudulent acts and it makes the notary public an impartial witness. So, forgetting to apply the seal means the notarization was not completed correctly and will have to be rectified. The other common mistake made by either notaries and notary signing agents is failing to require personal appearance. Personal appearance is when the signer, the person whose signature needs to be notarized, does not appear in the flesh before the notary. That is a requirement in Alabama because Alabama has not approved the true remote online notarization. Now, Governor Ivey did approve remote ink signed notarizations temporarily due to COVID, but still personal appearance needs to take place through the computer, otherwise offline in the flesh. And so a notary cannot accept any excuse why the signer can't appear in one of those two ways in order to complete the notarization. The third example is an inaccurate notary certificate. Not all notary certificates are alike, and it does take attention to detail to complete all those blank lines correctly. If a notary isn't careful, she might insert her name where it should be the signer's name, which then means she has notarized her signature, which won't go far at all. Another common mistake that is picked up is failure to administer the oath or affirmation. Because training is not mandatory in Alabama, there are many commission notaries who may not even know how to administer an oath or when to administer an affirmation. Getting that information down pat is critical, and it can only be obtained through training. Notary experts address this issue. The oath and affirmation are so important that when a notary fails to administer it, it is fatal to the notarial act. And then finally, using the notary using an unofficial name or signature when notarizing. What do I mean by that? Well, let's say my name is Carmen San Diego. If that is my name on my certificate, that is how my name should be, my notary commission. Okay, if Carmen San Diego is how my commission was issued, that is how I need to print my name when notarizing. That is how I must sign my name, and that is how my name should appear on my official notary seal in any stamps. It needs to be consistent across the board. Some of you may say, well, what's the big deal? I'm only notarizing forms for my neighbors to go on field trips. It is possible that a school secretary may not have a problem with that. But when documents need to be recorded at the courthouse, or if documents are traveling overseas and require an apostille or authentication, inconsistent names can mean a rejected document. Take a look at the slide before I move forward and familiarize with yourself with these common mistakes so that you are less apt to perform or commit one of these mistakes. So, what else can you do to prevent notary mistakes? For those of you who are operating a mobile notary business or a signing agent business, I recommend that you don't overbook yourself, your schedule. Just don't do it. You'll be tempted. It looks attractive. You're already calculating the dollars earned in your mind. You need to use good time management and schedule enough time for each appointment, um, and anticipate that things can happen. Schedule your appointments wisely. Factor in signing agent that the loan documents might be sent to you later than you expect. You may have a signer that's going to read every single page, every document, word by word. You may not have allowed for that. Well, you need to allow for that possibility. And then there's always traffic or accidents between appointments. And so, especially if you are starting off in your business and if you are traveling to an area you're not familiar with, allow plenty of time and don't overbook. When you do overbook, it's going to cause you to rush. And rushing leads to problems. You've heard the old adage before, haste makes waste. And that is so true. You can make careless mistakes by just being in a hurry. Slow down. Allow yourself enough time to check your work and do it correctly. It's also important that you focus during your notary appointments. I know when I watch some YouTube videos, it's they make it sound as if being a notary is so easy to do. It isn't rocket science, but it does require attention to detail. And in order to do that, you need to focus because any distractions can disrupt you and lead to mistakes. There is a time during the notarization appointment, that I cut the chit chat. I say politely to the signer, you know what? I'm going to focus on notarizing your signature on these documents. You're welcome to walk around, stretch your legs, and I'll call you if I have any questions. So, the work that we do, the signers are friendly. They may want to show you pictures of their pets, their grandchildren, their garden, and it's great. But when you are in the midst of making sure you've collected all the signing agent duties, the signatures, um, the initials, what have you, you really do need to focus and pay attention. There can be a lot of distractions, including pets. If you're not a smoker, someone smoking, loud music, children. And so it's learning how to navigate that space and remove as many distractions as you can. The other suggestion is that you make sure you proofread the documents before you leave the appointment. And I would add not only the documents, but your journal entries. Take a moment and double check and or triple check to make sure nothing was overlooked. I like soliciting the help of the signer or signers for this task. Once I've gone through to check, I'll ask them, hey, do you mind reviewing this? You'd be surprised what someone else might pick up. And they, the signers, are reassured that when you leave their home, everything was done correctly. If you are a notary signing agent, you have additional responsibilities that have nothing to do with notarizing. And so this would be a good time for you to pull out your signing agent instructions and make sure that you remember to use the right color ink. You remember to request a cancel check, make a copy of their ID, collected every initial on every page. And you know the drill, the list goes on. Check your work. And as far as the journal is concerned, yes, go back through that. Make sure you recorded every document. And also important is capturing the signer's signatures in your journal. Those of you who are in Alabama, I know that a journal is optional, but I don't leave home without my journal, and I suggest that you don't leave home without yours either. Have a systematic approach to conducting your notarizations. It's important that when you are at the signing table that you are organized, because being organized exudes a sense of confidence and you are less apt to make mistakes. So just come up with, all right, this is when I'll start doing my signatures, the stamping, the proofreading. Be systematic. Find a way that works for you, perfect it, and then stick with it, because that way you're more apt to catch the mistakes that do come up. Fix it fast. Once it has been brought to your attention that you made a mistake, I know it's embarrassing and it can even be nerve wracking, scary, but take a few seconds to be in your feelings and then go straight into fixing the problem. You're going to apologize. It it even helps for you to explain what happened. I'm not saying make excuses, but you can explain what led to that mistake. Once you have fixed it, you may want to offer an incentive. Remember, for those of you who are running a notary business, it is a business, and you need to make sure that your customer is happy. And then during this stage, you will want to watch your tone and your nonverbal body language so that it's not perceived that you are being unprofessional, annoyed, disgruntled. Fix it quickly. Don't make them chase you down or have to follow up with you repeatedly. Mistakes in this line of work can and will cost you money. So fix it fast. When mistakes do happen, it is helpful if you have insurance. The National Notary Association routinely suggests that notaries, all notaries, are insured for at least $25,000 of errors and omission insurance. What's nice about E&O insurance is that you do not have to repay the money that an insurance company may pay out on your behalf. That is not true with the notary bond that Alabama and many other states require. And so if you are only bonded as a notary and you make a mistake and the client files a claim against your bond, you are required by law to repay the surety company that entire amount. Notary E&O and signing agent E&O work differently. When the insurance company pays out, the notary and the signing agent are not required to reimburse the insurance company. You should consider, if you don't have Notary E&O right now, you really should get it, whether you are an office notary, mobile notary, or signing agent notary. I'm licensed to sell Notary E&O, surety bonds, and you can get more information on my website at thebondlady.org. I am only licensed in Alabama, Georgia, Ohio, Tennessee, and Texas. There's insurance and there is assurance. You can be assured that if at least you require personal appearance by all of your signers, obtain notary training, and use a notary journal, you are less likely to have mistakes that lead to costly headaches. That concludes the tutorial on mistakes happen. I hope you found it helpful. Just a quick reminder of our training year-end specials for just $99. That is a limited special being offered, so I encourage you to go ahead and make your purchase. You can take these training classes in either December or in January. And I also want to extend another invitation to you to join our Hangout group, Notaries for Alabama Hangout on Facebook. We'd love to have you. And then if you want to reach out to me at any time, I've got my contact information here on the screen. That concludes this evening's tutorial. I really hope you found it helpful. If you enjoy this type of information, please subscribe to this channel. I don't have a set schedule set up yet. And so subscribing will make sure that you hear about the tutorials that I do um, hot off the press. Thanks so much. Have a good evening and a great rest of the week.